Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Anah. I'm back with another video. It's titled Revelation chapter 17. I'm basically just going to read Revelation chapter 17 and break it down. So jumping right into it, it says the doom of Babylon, Babylon being America, USA, United States. It says Revelation 17:1, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Right, so this is a vision that John the Revelator is seeing from one of the angels with the seven vials, and those seven vials, or the vials, are just things of destruction, basically. And the seventh vial will be the last one, would be nuclear destruction that's coming to Babylon the Great. It says we're gonna get the whore that sitteth upon many waters. This is Babylon the Great, and the many waters are the different peoples, the different nations. Revelation 17:2, it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Right? And we get Revelation 20. Revelation 20:7, it says, and when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. So basically, Esau Edom will go out, and he will deceive the nations. That's how they are drunk with the wine of Babylon the Great, right? It says to Gog and Magog to gather them to battle. So ultimately, when he's doing all of that, at the end of it, he will come to Gog and Magog, which Gog is Russia and Magog is the land of Russia, to gather them to battle, right, in World War III. And it says the number of whom is at the time to see, meaning for, all the troops over there in the Levant region, in that area over there by Israel, all the World War III will take place, and there'll be a lot of troops in that area. But basically, my point that I wanted to get was that Esau will go out and deceive the nations. And that's why it says that with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. And a good example that we could get really quick is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 46. It says, and thou Asia being China, Japanese, right? It says, and thou Asia, that are partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Let me read it again. It says, and thou Asia, that are partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Right. So basically, basically, Asia would partake in the same thing, the same type of destruction that Babylon the Great would partake in, that being of plagues, widowhood, poverty, famine, and the sword and pestilence and things like that, just because of Asia's trying to make herself like Babylon the Great, which is going to go into basically. It says, woe be unto thee, thou wretched, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, made herself like unto who? Babylon the Great, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore saith Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. So as you can see, Asia is one of those kings of the earth, that have committed fornications with Babylon the Great. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower, the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lover shall not be able to receive thee. So basically, this is a judgment that's going to be hidden, and it's already pretty much hitting Asia, China, because of them trying to make themselves like unto Babylon the Great. So that was, like I said, that was an example of the kings committing fornication with Babylon the Great. So Revelation 17:2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So those 7 heads being 7 kingdoms, and the 10 horns being the vassal states, so NATO and EU. And I'm gonna break down the 7 heads. I'll just get that right now, actually. Alright, so the 7 heads are Germania Major, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, Germania Minor, the British, and the Greeks. And the 10 horns will be the vassal states, the EU, NATO. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. This is Jeremiah 51:7. Let's get that. Babylon have been a gold. This is Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right, and this fits perfectly into what we're reading in Revelation 17. But my point here is that Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, and that's why when John the Revelator seen this woman that sits upon the beast, which is Babylon, the woman, it says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Right, and if you break this part down right here, and the pneumatic, if that's the word, like the numbers of the Hebrew, this represents 666. It says, Revelation 17:6, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua, the saints being the Israelites. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Right, so John the Revelator looked at this woman like, damn, she bad, right, basically. And that's why Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. So Babylon is, great. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which have the 7 heads and 10 horns. And when you went into that, it says, the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go out into perdition. I'm sorry. Revelation 17:8, it says, the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. So that beast that was and is not is talking about the Roman Empire that fell, and was locked up for about 1,000 years, and then it ascended out of the bottomless pit. That bottomless pit being Europe, and it's going to go into perdition, which is destruction, right? And ultimately, this is going to the fact that Babylon the Great is going to go into destruction, Esau, Edom, right? Because the land of Babylon is going to be completely destroyed. No human would dwell here, no man, only desert animals. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and is not and yet is. So basically, this was the downfall of the Roman Empire and then the upbringing of Babylon the Great. We can go back to Revelation chapter 20 to get that. Satan bound. Revelation 21, it says, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should receive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed in the season. Then you want to jump down to verse 7. That's how this thing is broken down, basically. Because this is talking about the 1,000 years that Satan was bound, and then it goes to something else here. these three verses, then when you get over here, it goes back. It says, and when 1,000 years are expired, see how I did that? Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out and to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And we just broke that down. It says, the beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. Right, so that's basically the Roman Empire that fell, and out of the Roman Empire came Babylon the Great, basically. And Babylon the Great is basically a spitting image of the Roman Empire. Right, so they are one and the same. It says, and here is the mind which have wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And mountains represent, militaries, governments, and things like that. It says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. So basically, John the Revelator is receiving this vision while in the Roman Empire. The one that is the Roman Empire. The 5 that are fallen are, got it right here, the Greeks, Germania Minor, the Spanish, the French, and Germania Major. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And that being the British. The British is the one that has not yet come and must continue for a short space. And out of the British came America. It says, and the beast that was and is not yet, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth in perdition. Right. So once again, the British is that 7th one, and out of the British came America. It says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Right, so this is talking about ultimately Babylon the Great and his EU NATO beast system. These have one mind and shall give their power and script unto the beast. Once again, this is talking about, Babylon the Great, his whole system. That is the beast, right? And ultimately, once again, we understand that the beast first and foremost was the Roman Empire that fell, was bound for 1,000 years, and out of that came Babylon the Great. And let's get Daniel 7. So we get Daniel 7:7. It says, and after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible. So Daniel 7 breaks down into the beast. You get the head of gold, and you go all the way down to the feet of iron and clay, right? But that's not in Daniel 7. But Daniel 7:7. After this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and broke in pieces. It devoured and broke in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. So let me break it down and go into it a little slower. It says, Daniel 7:7, and after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and it devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Right, so this is the Roman Empire, and those 10 horns are, of course, the vassal states. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, in his horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. So now, when you go into that, those 3 little, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots, those horns being the Spanish, the French, and then ultimately the British. And then that little horn that came out of the British would be America, Babylon the Great. It says, "In this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things." Right, and that's why if you go into full of blasphemies. Let's see, where is that at? That's in Desolations. First Desolations. Let me see. Like two. No. Hold on one second. Second Desolations. Men of lawlessness, that's Esau, Edom. It says, we'll just get to the point. Second Desolations 2 and 4. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called Yahweh or that is worshipped, so that he as Yahweh sitteth. Well, let me just say God. It says, Second Thessalonians 2 and 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Yahweh or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God, right? So that's Esau, Edom, having great blasphemies in his mouth, opposing himself and exalting himself above Yahweh Bashmi Awashad. So read that again, Daniel 7 and 7. After this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the other beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. And what made it diverse is basically it had a senate, and that goes into, if I can try to remember, it's like First Maccabees 1 and 48, I believe. Let's see. We'll get it. It's First Maccabees 8 and 14. So let me get that. First Maccabees 8 and 14. So let me just get the point. It says, yet for all this, none of them wore a crown, or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting a way for the people, to the end they might be well ordered, and that they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation among them. So basically, if you go into like the past kingdoms, you have people that are kings, and then they give the kingdom to their sons, right? Firstborn, or whatever the case may be. But this new kingdom, the Roman Empire that came about, and as you can see, Babylon the Great, America followed in the footsteps. Basically, nobody wore a crown. They basically had like a senate, where like a whole bunch of people passed laws together and then governed together. So I'll read that again. It says, yet for all this, none of them wore a crown, or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 and 20 men sat in council daily, consulting a way for the people, to the end they might be well ordered, and that they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulations among them. So there you go. So that it says, going back, it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. So not only that, not only to have a senate, and then you had like a president. They come in and they switch the president every so often, and it wasn't based off of the sons. It was just based off voting him in, or however the case may be. It also had the vassal states with them. And as you can see, Babylon the Great followed directly in the footsteps of the Roman Empire. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, which is Babylon the Great, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. Right, and this is going into like the Revolutionary Wars. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. And I went and broke that down for you. So these have one, Revelations 17 and 12, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Revelation 17 and 14, it says, victory of the Lamb. These shall make war with the Lamb. Let me make sure this thing is it says, these shall make war with the Lamb meaning Yahushua, and the Lamb shall overcome them. Right, going back into that the World War III, basically, what we just got in Revelation chapter 20, Gog and Magog, Russia, and Babylon the Great, the Levant region. It says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, meaning Yahweh Bashar will prevail, he will win. It says, for he is Lord of lords and Kings of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. It says, and they being the elect of the Israelites. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. Right, and once again, we understand that this beast is talking about Babylon the Great and their whole system, NATO, EU. But even before that, it was the Roman Empire, that basically was wounded, cast into prison, bound for 1,000 years, and out of that came Babylon the Great. And Babylon Great basically is a spitting image in all their, ways, their even how they build, their laws, all of that. It says, for Yahweh have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth, right? And that great city is Babylon the Great, which reigneth over the kings of the earth, right? So basically, Babylon the Great will be ruling. And if you look around, presently, USA, United States of America, Babylon the Great, all the same, are ruling. So with that, I hope you've been edified by this video. With that, I want to say shalom to the whole elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.